Can you tell me where the idea came from? Did you have some specific issues in your processes that makes you to create billions, or that was just an idea based on some feedbacks? Where the idea came from?
Yeah, so a lot of that came from Andrew's experience running a team. And if anybody, has run a real estate team or even been on a real estate team, there's a lot of moving parts similar to a company, right? And a lot of the tech in the real estate space is focused on sort of one part of what you may do in your real estate business. So for example, marketing, right? There's lots of
Yeah.
marketing tools and they're really focused on lead gen and that sort of thing. And that's great, but then you move down that client journey and suddenly you have to deal with the transaction part of all of that marketing effort that you did to acquire a client. And so then you have a second tool that maybe manages transactions, and a third tool that maybe manages commissions, and a fourth tool that's managing your revenue and your financials, right? And so what we found and what Andrew really painfully experienced is as you start to layer things on top, and maybe they talk to each other and maybe they don't, usually they don't, that becomes really hard and very expensive to manage. And it also means that it's very manual and there are things that get lost. And it's, whether you're talking about real estate or any business, that tends to be a typical trajectory of, oh, let's buy this one thing to solve one problem. Let's buy another thing to solve a second problem. And then you end up with 15 million things to manage. And the cost of managing those things becomes huge. And the risk that you have something fall through the cracks, like, for example, a date of closing, which is super important in real estate. And you have all these things you have to do leading up to a closing. And if you forget one thing, you could lose that entire transaction. And so that was really the birth of the problem. Is Andrew was managing this big real estate team doing tens of thousands of transactions and managing all of this marketing and lead gen. And it was very, very disparate. And he kept trying to extend and stretch one tool to try to meet the needs of some other areas, and it just didn't do it. And so he moved over to Salesforce, engaged a firm to basically custom build out a solution on top of the platform. And was the beginning of what the product Billions became.